Not everything happening around you requires your attention, and definitely not your energy. This message explains why. Hi, this is Krista, and welcome back to Cosmic Twists. This is a space where channeled messages and granted interpretation come together to help bridge spiritual insight into real life. And today's channel message is from an Arcturian named Stella. Interested in what she has to say? Let's go ahead and get into it. This is still Stella, and yes, I'm an Arcturian. We hail from the great cosmos. Where do we go from here? It starts today. We will be pushing information to you that is to be known for the greater good. Please don't think for a minute that we are here to charm the populace. That is not our role. We are here because so many feel it is the end times. And truly, that is not the case. And we want anyone who is willing to listen to know that. You humans deserve to wake up and become that which you came here to be. There's going to be endless opportunities, shouting and fighting and many crazy antics that we are not participants of, and we wish for you not to be participants of as well. Please step away from the fray and tune in to these messages when you are able. We want you to treasure your life on this planet. This is a great growth opportunity for you all. Precisely what you came here for. You sought growth, and you are experiencing growth. Some may feel that it is too painful, and we acknowledge that. We also acknowledge the reason you came here, and we know it is to your benefit to experience that, but then lift yourself out of said pain. You can do it. It is absolutely necessary that you do it. You can be at peace and observe what is happening around you, but you don't need to be down in the trenches with it. You do not need to observe down to the last minutia. Observe from a neutral position as much as you can. Do not absorb the negativity. Let it bounce off of you and move along its merry way. Ground often, and by now you know what that means. Feet to earth, smelling your flowers, petting your animals, all those things. We know your devices can be addictive, but maybe start with a fun little activity and say, I'm not going to use my device for an hour on Wednesday evenings, and see how that goes for you. See how that goes and grows for you. Make it 2 hours the next Wednesday, 3 hours the next Wednesday, and so forth. Get in the habit of not having a phone habit or a device habit or a computer habit. It's truly in your best interest to step away from it. Step away from it now and again. It doesn't have to be permanent. We're not suggesting that you are not able to keep up with the times, but just, again, do not absorb all you're taking in. And the best way to do that is to put your device down. We are here. We are here for all of you. And we look forward to the times to come when we may meet in person. That is all we have for now. This is Stella, signing off. Blessings to one and all.
This is where Stella's message takes on a slightly different tone than what you may be used to, because rather than focusing on comfort or reassurance, it leans more into clarity and perspective. And that shift is important to notice. Much of what she shares centers around how you relate to what's happening around you, especially when it comes to the amount of information you're taking in on a daily basis. When you're constantly scrolling, reacting, and absorbing every detail, your nervous system doesn't have much opportunity to reset, and over time that can create a baseline sense of urgency or overwhelm that feels like something is wrong, even when what you're experiencing is simply too much input. So when Stella suggests stepping away from the fray, this isn't about disconnecting from life or avoiding what's happening. It's about regulation, and about creating enough space to come back to a more neutral state where you can observe without immediately reacting. That same idea shows up in her suggestion around device use, which is actually very practical. Starting with something as simple as taking an hour away from your device isn't about restriction, it's about creating contrast. And that contrast allows you to feel the difference between constant input and intentional presence. Over time, that awareness can change how you engage with your environment in a very real way. She also speaks to the experience of growth and acknowledges that it can feel painful at times, but then redirects your focus toward your ability to move through that pain rather than remain in it. That distinction matters, because growth doesn't require you to stay in struggle. It requires you to recognize what you're experiencing, learn from it, and then lift yourself out of it. And finally, there's the idea of observing without absorbing, which is something you can begin practicing immediately. You can be aware of what's happening around you without taking it on as your own, without letting it define your emotional state, and without feeling like you need to engage with every detail. That doesn't make you disconnected, it makes you steady. And from that steadiness, you're able to show up in your life with more clarity, more intention, and more control over where your energy goes.
So that's a wrap for today's channeled message. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you want to hear more messages like these, please subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. And in other news, I'm beginning to explore offering private, offline recorded channeled sessions. If that's something you'd like to explore further, there's a waitlist link in the description below. Until next time, trust that things are revealing themselves right on time.